What you know, alibis. Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. It's Tuesday, September 2nd. Hope you guys had a nice long weekend. We are back at it. Day 7 of the Donna Adelson trial and day 1 of the defense case. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already on YouTube. Like the video. That is one of the easiest ways to help my podcast out. And also, if you want notifications of when I post new content or go live, click that little bell icon. I'm leaving tomorrow for Denver for CrimeCon, and I do plan to go live randomly. So that way, if I do, you know about it and you can come watch. I know Lieutenant Hermosillo said he's going to come hang out at the booth for a bit, so you might catch a glimpse of him, and who knows who else. So I try not to put a lot of opinion into the cases that I covered these days. I've just found I like the groove of going from A to B and being done. But y'all, I think day 1 of the defense case was a dumpster fire. I mean, there was absolutely nothing brought forth by any witnesses that I think helped Donna at all. And here's the other kicker. I think if Donna takes the stand, it could be tomorrow. I'm going to be traveling. Luckily, I have a later flight out at 4:30, so if she goes early, I can make notes. But regardless, I'll be watching on the plane. I will be live streaming still, and I will do an update tomorrow night from Denver. It just may be late, depending on when we get in and get settled. Let's jump in. So the first witness up was a friend of Donna's, Miss Cunningham. They've known each other since 2009. They met when her life partner cracked a tooth on a trip to Florida. They called a friend who recommended Harvey. The friend and Harvey had gone to school together in New York, and Harvey came in on Christmas Day to fix that cracked tooth. They quickly became friends. They had met Wendy and Charlie and also had spent time with Wendy, Dan, and the boys. Her observations of Donna, not hateful, not aggressive, not threatening. When one of them would go travel overseas, they would talk on WhatsApp, and I believe an app she called Viber. She said she talked to Donna the day Dan was shot. She got a call from Donna who was hysterical. Now, this comes in later. She said the memorial service was sad and painful. She kept up very little with Charlie's case, and in fact, they invited Donna and Harvey to stay at their house in Naples for a good portion of Charlie's trial to watch it, because they did not feel safe leaving their apartment. After the verdict, Donna told her she was considering taking her own life. Also talked about getting away to clear her head. As far as Lincoln's bar mitzvah, she said that Donna was excited about attending that. On cross, are you familiar with the statement that she could be buried in the dress she bought for Lincoln's bar mitzvah? The witness says no. Was she talking about self-harm after the verdict? Yes. Donna did vent to the witness about Dan. The witness said Donna did not tell her about the bribe they were thinking about if Dan would allow the kids to move to Florida. But she did talk about strong-arming Dan and said that was so foolish of me. So one thing I caught on to here, if you remember last week when the jailhouse informant testified on that script that the handwriting expert pretty much said totally Donna's handwriting, the word foolish was used when referring to Charlie. So I just thought that word itself was interesting because it's popped up again. And the witness said that is not words that Katie Magbanawa would use. Donna eventually told her about the extortion while they were on a trip to Japan. She can't remember if it was between the murder and the first arrest. And the state asks, so you learned she knew who killed Dan? And the witness says, I guess, I don't know. Was she forced to make payments? The witness says yes, but she doesn't know much about the checks. She asked the witness her cell phone number, and she gives the last 4. And the state said Donna would have called her after the verdict when Donna was thinking about self-harm. She said she was in contact with Donna during the trial, but according to her, they didn't really discuss it. But the prosecutor says, would some text messages refresh your memory? The witness does remember after looking at the transcript that they kept in contact during the trial. The state, you thought the jury got the verdict wrong and said, I know you are all innocent. And the witness says yes. She doesn't think any of the Adelsons had anything to do with Dan's murder. The state says, so when Donna was going to Vietnam, she was going to clear her head in a non-extradition country. The witness said, I didn't know it was non-extradition. They point out there was no return flight. And the witness said Donna didn't know how long they were going to stay. Donna texted her to complain Wendy did not call them after the verdict and said that Harvey was on the floor crying like a baby. So her and her partner offered to come be with them. She's asked, what does your partner do? The witness said owns a computer consulting business and did real estate with his ex-wife flipping apartments. She didn't say if that was still current. The prosecution asked if Donna called her the day Dan was shot, and she said yes. But later, one of the defense experts who came in to testify about cell phone stuff said there was not a call from Donna to her friend that she could see. On redirect, the defense said Donna didn't tell her she was writing checks at the time. And when talking about extortion, Donna never said she was being extorted. And the defense points out that she told the witness she would be back for Lincoln's bar mitzvah. The next witness, Ron Gutterson, this is the previous witness's life partner. He had a house in Miami, but in 2015 moved to Naples. He went to high school with Harvey in New York City, and they reconnected at their 25-year high school reunion. In 2008 or 2009, he was in Florida for Christmas and Christmas Eve. He said he was eating Chinese food and cracked his front tooth. He was the one that called the friend in New York who recommended Harvey. He called Harvey, got his tooth fixed, and they bonded and started traveling a lot after that. He says they allowed Donna and Harvey to use their house in Naples because Donna and Harvey were being pestered by reporters and bloggers who were hounding them, and the home they had in Naples was gated. He said Harvey was devastated Charlie was convicted. He knew they wanted to travel to clear their heads and thought it was temporary. While they were traveling, they asked the witness to help with their rental properties. On cross, you said they were going to make every effort to return for the bar mitzvah. It would be abnormal if there was an arrest warrant issued, but the witness said there wasn't one when they left for their trip. Did Donna ask you to come from New Jersey to Florida? By the way, they are snowbirds, so they don't stay at that Naples home year-round. The witness said that they were asked to come down for moral support. The prosecution points out Wendy wasn't answering and they needed your help. They may need you to do some work. Is that moral support? He said no, just to arrange to help someone with the rental properties while they were gone. The prosecution points out in the text you said, whenever, whatever you need, we're there. The next witness, Kelsey Guay, she is a senior digital forensics examiner. She watched Sergeant Corbett's testimony from this trial and also examined call detail records for Donna, Harvey, and Charlie. She also looked at Sergeant Corbett's PowerPoint. She was asked to look at the charts of the frequency analysis from January 2014 through May 2017, and she points out she looked at the records, including the timestamps with seconds, where Sergeant Corbett did not. She said the data was messy and disputes the number of unique communication events. She said the failure to manually go through the records resulted in an inflated frequency report. As far as the cell site information for Donna's phone on the day of the murder, including towers covering for Charlie's phone, Donna's handset never connects to a tower near Charlie's house. And Charlie and Donna's handsets did not connect to the same tower. There was more. It was technical. So on cross, you disagree with the mapping of the cell site location from Sergeant Corbett's presentation? She says no. It shows a travel analysis of her travel that night. Prosecution says, so you don't disagree that her phone was in communication with the cell site in North Miami at 8:35, and the next cell site location is 10:57, and that was with Harvey's phone, and she doesn't dispute that. So the next few questions was just about pinpointing Donna outside Charlie's house, and there is no pinpointing her handset. However, the prosecution points out, okay, so there's no location, but she texts him outside your house, and the witness says yes. You agree? Donna and Charlie have a relationship. Both yours and Sergeant Corbett's reports show Donna's primary contact is Charlie. The second ranking is her voicemail routing. And then the third place is Harvey. Yes. They point out how much she's getting paid. And just for travel yesterday, she got paid around $10,000 to travel from Portland, Oregon to Tallahassee, Florida. So back on the stand is Miss Cunningham, the first witness, Donna's friend, and she was on her way to the airport. They went and got her and brought her back because there was that question of being asked if Donna called her the day Dan was shot, and she was all upset. The defense asks, when you talk to Donna, you use WhatsApp and Viber on a regular basis. She says yes, and that was it for the defense. The state asks, so you were brought back here to clarify whether or not you were talking to her on WhatsApp or Viber when she reached out after Dan was shot, and the witness says she called me. The state asks, so you misspoke earlier or it wasn't clear? And the witness says, no, she called me. The state goes through before the murder some phone calls the two of them had with the cell phone, and the witness doesn't remember specifically. Also points out a phone call July 20th, 2 days after the murder. The state points out, so you did talk to her on the phone June 23rd, July 20th, and July 21st. But she is saying that the day Dan was shot, it was on either WhatsApp or Viber. She said that they were in the car when this contact was made, and they would often call through the apps when they were driving. And the state points out, would it surprise you that WhatsApp did not offer calls until 2015? And the witness said, then it was on Viber. And the state said, must have been Viber, huh? And that was it for her. Again, the next witness, Richard Shagran, he met Donna and Harvey around 28 years ago when they were part of a gourmet club with them. So they bonded and took vacations together. His wife is an estate planning attorney. They talked to Donna and Harvey the day after Charlie's conviction and went to their home in Miami. Donna was distraught and Harvey was in shock. He helped them get their Vietnam visas, and he mentions that Donna took Susan to show the dress she had bought for Lincoln's bar mitzvah. Then he helped them book their trip. He said the trip was expensive, so he advised them to only book one way. They selected the 90-day visa because they didn't know how long they would be gone. They were being harassed by media, and they were afraid to leave their apartment. His impression was they were coming back for the bar mitzvah. He said they had been in Vietnam before, and they found it very relaxing. While he helped them figure out the flight, Harvey actually booked it. And the witness says their attorney told them they had no travel restrictions. He describes Donna as the ultimate Jewish mom and grandma. She was very involved with her grandkids since Dan had been killed and Wendy was working. When he was assisting them, they were undecided about when they were returning, as far as should it be a little bit before the bar mitzvah or just before. On cross, the bar mitzvah was less than 90 days from when they left. And you gave a deposition in August of 2024 by Zoom, and you were asked if you made any decisions about travel or if you were just helping them with the technology. But today, you're saying you're the one who suggested they fly one way. He said that was part of the helping, was suggesting. And the state points out in his deposition, he said he was the more computer savvy one. But today, you say you suggested the one-way flight? Yes. When referring to Donna as a typical Jewish grandma, the state says, do typical Jewish grandmas suggest dressing your grandkids up in Nazi uniforms? And he says, not to my knowledge. On a redirect, you're more travel savvy? Yes. So you made suggestions and not decisions? Yes. The next witness, Tarana Khan, she's a mitigation specialist. She explains she goes through maternal and paternal sides of the family and gets mental evaluations ready for the court. She interviewed inmate Patricia Bird, one of the jailhouse informants, in January of 2025. And Ms. Bird never told her that Donna would pay her in any way for testifying for her, and never said that Donna confessed anything. The witness, by the way, never met with Donna. On cross, why did you interview her? And she said she was given a list of people to interview. The prosecution points out at that point when she was interviewed, the inmate was not a state's witness at that time. She doesn't know. Was the interview recorded? No. Why not? The defense did not ask her to. She's asked, how did you take accurate notes? And she wrote down everything with a pen and a paper. The next witness, Eddie Varnes, he is a retired private investigator. He was actually retained by Dan Rashbaum in May of 2024. He spoke to Patricia Bird August 30th of 2024. This is regarding her saying she had information about what Katie told her when they were incarcerated in 2021 together. Bird said that Donna never offered compensation, and also that interview was not recorded. He said he told her that the state would say she was offered something in exchange for her testimony, but she says Donna didn't. She did mention she was expecting an offer from the state soon about her testimony against Donna. On cross, you didn't record it? Could you have recorded it? He said he was told not to. Bird said Katie told her, after we had him killed, we tried to get money because we knew they had money. They offered Dan $1 million to move the kids, so why not kill Dan and extort Charlie? She mentions that Katie said, I have to get my kids to college. But the prosecution asked, did Katie ever use the word extortion? And the witness says yes. They point out he did not do a recorded interview because they didn't ask. On redirect, the defense says, isn't that what Miss Bird said to you? Yes. Now, the next witness was actually sitting in the back of the courtroom watching some of the defense case. Ultimately, it wasn't an issue. He is a realtor. His name is Tim Kelly. Very briefly up, November 2011, he was contacted by Dan to see about showing homes for Donna and Harvey. So he showed some homes. Donna, Harvey, Dan, Wendy, and one or both of the boys were there. This is before the separation. He took them once, and they did not buy from him, and that was it. The next witness, Josh Turner from the Leon County Sheriff's Office. He reviewed surveillance from the jail, and I've uploaded this specifically to YouTube, by the way, where you see Donna and Bernhardt, one of the jail informants, on the right side of the screen, and they bring that video in. Bernhardt is at a table with a notebook and also a yellow folder. Donna walks up, and Drina gets Donna to sit down. It shows Drina taking a piece of paper out of her notebook showing Donna. The defense asks if something is already written on the page and the witness can't tell. Guys, you can't see nothing in detail of what they have on that table, by the way. A couple of things I noticed in this video, Donna is talking a lot. And also, this is not the only time Donna could have written the script. To me, this is all guesswork and a really big shot in the dark that this was the time that Donna wrote that script. They were working on something, but we don't know what, because there's also no audio. On cross, when you met with her, she said she had information about Donna, but also that Donna was trying to give her testimony to learn for her trial. The witness alerted investigator Newland, and they met with Miss Bernhardt on December 20th. She showed up with a pink notebook. She told them at the meeting, here is the script Donna wrote for me to deliver at her trial. The instructions that Donna gave her was to read it, put it in her own handwriting, and return the original back to Donna. And the witness does agree that the video corroborated what Drina told law enforcement. Bernhardt reported this to him on December 18th, so that's when he let investigator Newland know. They did not let her know they were going to meet with her on the 20th at the state attorney's office. They did consider waiting until after Christmas, but they brought her over, and that day she had the notebook with Donna's handwriting in it. The state points out the defense says that both of them wrote in there, but would you defer to the handwriting expert as to who actually wrote this? Yes. They show where Bernhardt gives the notebook to Donna, and you see Donna writing in that notebook for quite some time. They fast forward, she's still writing in it. On redirect, we can't hear the video, right? We only have to rely on what Miss Bernhardt says. Yes. She didn't know she was being interviewed on the 20th, but when she came, she brought a bunch of materials with her, and law enforcement collected what Drina said they should collect. And the witness says yes. And that was it, y'all. I'm not trying to be mean, but this may be one of the worst defense cases I have ever seen in my life. Pointless. All of it can be disputed, and clear that her friends are going to make her look good. And of course, the big problem for the defense is the fact that I believe the jail informants were very credible. And the handwriting expert really just took it home with, this is absolutely her handwriting. So we'll see what day 2 brings. If Donna takes the stand, cross your fingers and your toes. It's in the morning, so I can watch some of it and make notes. The next time I talk to you, most likely will be from Denver. So hope you guys have a good evening, and we will see you soon.